Slay?
Yeah, of course. He's been obviously tremendous for us, but we get guys that we trust. Jamal is obviously first up, and then Craig and everyone else. But Swift is going to be fine, and whenever he's back, we'll be ready for him.
Yeah, Jared, what goes into a quarterback being a leader, the leadership role of a quarterback, and not just throwing the ball and all that, but the whole thing? What makes a leader?
Yeah, hopefully someone that guys can look to when things are bad is kind of what I try to stick with, and be that steady voice, and that guy that they can see every day that's kind of consistent, doing the same thing, and can provide clarity when things are kind of chaotic.
How does that play over to the playing field then, if it does?
Sure, yeah. I mean, like in last week when it's loud and chaotic, I try to stay as steady as possible and be that constant for those guys, and at the same time lead by example when we're in the building, and just be the best guy you can be.
Just one other thing. Frank Ragnow said yesterday, you've got the offense down now pretty much. It really makes you more confident and all that.
You say me or everyone?
Well, you in particular.
Sure, yeah. I think we all do, but yeah, I've got a good feel for it, and I think Ben's made it easy for us to learn, and we're kind of getting to the point where we've ran a lot of things more than once now, so we can bank reps on it, and we know what it looks like, we know what we like, we know what we don't like, and so we can kind of move forward a little bit more confidently.
Obviously, DeAndre is not the only one who wasn't out there today, pretty banged up in the wide receivers. I mean, how does that change your role, and what do you would like just operating with different people, and so I'm sure who's going in this week?
Yeah, it really doesn't much. Obviously, we may or may not have a couple of those guys, and we'll see as the week goes, but the guys that would step in, I'd feel comfortable with. I've had a lot of reps with all those guys. I think last year, as brutal as it was, there was a lot of valuable reps with a lot of those guys that would potentially need to step in. So it's guys that I'll feel comfortable with.
You guys got TJ involved early last week. If some of these guys can't go, how much of a weapon is he, and how much did last week help?
Yeah, certainly he should be for us. I mean, he's a hell of a player, and we want to get him involved as possible. He's a mismatch whenever he's on the field, and him get a safety on him, a linebacker on him, it's an advantage for us. So certainly with guys down, potentially he will be a big part of it.
Jared, what are you seeing from that Seattle secondary, and how dangerous can they be?
Yeah, I think the first guy you see is Diggs, and I've always had so much respect for him, and he's been such a good player for so long. And I played him a handful of times with the Rams, and he's the first guy that jumps out is how good he is. And then those other guys are young, but they're playing well, and they're athletic, and they make good plays on the ball and do a good job. And it'll be a challenge for us.
I think I saw that they're top 5 in red zone defense. I mean, what have you seen there, and how important is it when you get down there to get 7 out there?
Sure, yeah, it's always important, right? It's a 4-point swing, so it'll be a emphasis for us definitely this week. I think in my experience playing Seattle, they've always been kind of bend don't break mentality on defense. They've always been really good in the red zone, where they're looking for turnovers, looking to make plays, looking to stop touchdowns, and I'm sure it's the same this year.
What makes one team more successful at that?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
often mentality, often just how it's coached, how it's taught, and typically the coverages are relatively the same around the league. So it's who's executing the best, and who is believing in the bend don't break true mentality.
Jared, going to twos. Go ahead.
What kind of connection do you feel like you had with Quintez Cephas before that injury last year?
Yeah, he was doing a good job. Yeah, he was doing a really good job, and if he's needed this week, I know he'll be ready to go. And a guy that I've always had a lot of trust in. He always competes for the ball, always is able to make a play on the ball down the field, and it's always got strong hands, runs into traffic. He's very consistent in that way, and a guy that I have confidence in.
Same question, but Josh Reynolds, 10 targets last week. How valuable is it for you to have somebody that you've got a rapport here and elsewhere?
Sure, yeah, I've had a lot of reps with him, so me and him are comfortable and understand each other, and are great at communicating what we want, where he wants the ball, where I want to throw it, and he's always a valuable guy to have for us.
Playing in Seattle can be such an advantage for the Seahawks. It has been really loud at Ford Field already this year.
It has, yeah.
How much of an advantage can that be for you guys hosting a team that's used to having such a raucous home crowd?
Huge advantage, especially on defense, right? And even for us on offense, just when it's quiet, right? It's a little bit easier, but for us on defense, man, it's a huge advantage. It allows the offense to, or allows the defense to be able to communicate, and the offense not really be able to communicate quite as much. And it's fun, it's energy, it's passion, and big plays happen, turnovers, and it's all feeds off the crowd, and it's fun.
You've noticed it this year?
Hell yeah, we've noticed it. It's been fun.
After the game, you talked about wishing you would have said something to Dan before that last field goal kick. I was wondering if you guys have talked since then. Did he like reiterate?
He knows. He's hard enough on himself. Like we know that he wishes he may have done it differently. And again, if we make the kick and we stop him, it doesn't. I'm sure has a little bit different tune. But I think I was saying that more so like moving forward. I'd like to step in there and in the right situation. I won't step in if I don't think it's the right decision, but if I do truly believe in it and want to stand behind it, I will.
You played against the Seattle defense obviously quite a bit, being that they used to be a divisional foe, but a lot of different faces, new defensive scheme this year. How much I guess rollover is there from your time there when you were with the Rams?
Yeah, not much. It's a completely different scheme now. The overall mentality that they've always have is turnovers, and it's always been something that Coach Carroll has always preached, and I think all the way back to his time at USC is going for the ball. It's all about the ball, finding a way to get the ball out, and we're aware of that, and they're good at it. So be aware of that. I think Jordan Brooks was there when I was in LA. Diggs was there when I was in LA. Coleman was there when I was in LA, but besides that, I believe it's mostly turned over, and but it's still a lot of the same mentality.
Yeah,
When you look at
important at this stage is to bounce back from last week's game.
Very important, yeah, no doubt. It'll be a good one for us to get our feet back underneath us and feel good about one, hopefully.
When you look at it, what contributed to the effectiveness on 4th down, 4th, 6th against the Vikings?
Yeah, it's typically good play calls. They did a good job getting ready for what they were going to do on 4th down. They were playing a lot of man, and we had a lot of good man play calls and made a few plays down the field.
All good. Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, guys. All right.